I want to share with you what I've discovered brings the most freedom, the most happiness, the most benefit to yourself and to others. And I want to present this in a 5-video series as a way to invite you to consider what may bring you the most peace, happiness, abundance, all that good stuff that so many people refer to, both within and within yourself and outside yourself, in your relationships, in your vocation, in all your encounters. So it all gets down to one thing. It gets down to taking the one big adventure of our life, which is the inner journey, the journey inward to discover who we are, who we're becoming, who we want to be, what we believe, touching what principles we can live by, again, that bring forth this truer life, this truer vocation, this truer relationship with self and others. So I'm going to start first with introducing you to my dad, who has been dead for over 20 years now. But he was a traveling salesman back in the day. He used to travel around Wisconsin, where I still live, to the different cheese factories that were all over Wisconsin. A lot of those are gone now, but there are little small family, individually owned cheese factories, and he would go there selling them paper products to packaging products, basically. And he had 2 mottos he lived by and repeated. I first want to say that he wasn't necessarily the best father. He was an absentee father and perhaps showed up for some weekends at home, but mostly he was gone during the week and was pretty much absent when he was home. But one thing he did share, he had a very strong work ethic. And his work ethic included these 2 mottos of, the one being work on Fridays, don't go to the golf course on Fridays, work on Fridays, do your cold calls or your visits with your customers, new and old customers, on Friday, because everybody else is at the golf course. And that really shows people that you're going to be showing up. The second one was, everybody is selling something. So I can appreciate those 2 mottos in my own version. For the first one, on the Friday one, showing up on Friday, how I've translated that basically is just showing up. So for you, I'm showing up in these videos. These videos I'm sharing things with you that I find of deep value. I just want to give them to you to use as you may find beneficial. So I will continue showing up in this way. And the other one, that everybody's selling something, I think there's some truth to that. And what I'm selling you on is the beauty, the results, the good results of focusing on the inner life, on the inner path, on who we are inside, instead of being so outwardly focused in terms of whether it in our having a lot of belongings, or getting that one thing we want, or being in relationship, or an expression of, for example, generosity. So us showing generosity on the outside when maybe we're not being generous to ourselves, or know what generosity looks like internally. So these 5 videos are about starting or going on an inner journey. And it's your version of the inner journey. It's not my version. Mine is an invitation for you to take your own inner journey. I always work in ways that invite you to bring yourself to it. I wouldn't get involved in any kind of practice, any kind of class, any kind of teachings where there wasn't always an invitation for you to tweak the teachings and for you to bring yourself to the teachings. So I'm going to introduce you in this video to the approach of living life from the inside out, and what I refer to in my book, The 0 Point Agreement. And the title of the book is The 0 Point Agreement, How to Be Who You Already Are, which of course implies that you already have it inside you, all that you need to know, all that you need to understand about becoming who you want to become. So the 0 Point Agreement is, I live life from my side. So what that also means is I live life from the inside out. I live life by navigating first and continually cultivating my conversation with my inner landscape, my inner world, and focusing on developing my principles. And what this also means is then a consequence of this, and also a practice to cultivate, is I take 100% responsibility for my experience. So first, living life from your side means I stay on my side of the conversation in the equation. I show up halfway for all my interactions and experiences. And I don't go past that halfway mark and take on the other person's energy or experience, or be pushy about how I feel that the other person should be feeling or thinking or behaving. I really focus on my experience and bringing all of my integrity and myself to this experience. And then I'm fully able to respond and be with the person or the event that's in front of me. So I live life from my side. I live life from the inside out. And then the other piece, like I said, that it becomes is I learn how to cultivate being 100% responsible for my experience. And I'm going to say more about both of these in the next 4 videos. So for today, it's an invitation to contemplate this. So when I say I take 100% responsibility for my experience, and a tree falls on my house and puts a big hole in my roof, this doesn't mean I say, oh, I caused that or my karma caused that. No. What I do is I look at that and go, I take 100% responsibility to how I'm going to respond to this reality that a tree has put a hole in my house. That gives me all the authority, all the ability and skill and capacity and willingness to then deal with the hole. Instead of somebody who doesn't live from the inside out, who doesn't take 100% responsibility for their experience, which is a disease in our culture right now, they go into blaming the environment or blaming the tree or saying, woe is me, this is awful, this stuff always happens to me. And of course, that attitude, that approach then determines that person's experience. So my approach that, tree fell on my house. I'm going to do something about this. This shit happens, basically, determines my experience. So again, these 5 videos are an invitation to live life from your side and to take 100% responsibility for your experience in a way that really gives you all the freedom, all the purpose, all the joy that love that life can give us. And that's my sales pitch for living life from your side.